speaking of the NBA Cup, I seen the Houston Rockets clinch it, and it's allowing a lot of fan bases of teams that are normally not in position to possibly go to the Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals. It gives them something to cheer for.
Yeah, you saw with the Indiana Pacers last year.
Yeah, and then the Pistons, the Hawks, the Blazers are kind of still in it. The Kings and
I,
Grizzlies and
I
Nuggets are
think the
already
Spurs secured their
eliminated.
spot.
Wait, my
The
bad.
Grizzlies are already eliminated.
Yeah, teams that are already
Yeah.
eliminated. The Kings, well, basically they're almost out. They already lost 2 games.
Yeah.
The Kings, Grizzly, Nuggets are basically like one more loss. I mean, pretty much they need a miracle to get out of their group.
Yeah.
But the Blazers, the Rockets, the Hawks, Pistons, their fan base got something to cheer for, man. And that'll be a good look.
Yeah.
That would be a good look.
Because, like, I don't think Memphis has anything to prove with the in-season tournament, right? Because I think we're kind of expecting bigger from Memphis. But if you're a team like Houston trying to figure out a culture, this is a big like morale boost.
Orlando, they got 2 wins, no losses.
Orlando needs a morale boost.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta Hawks also needs a morale boost because they kind of pivoted their roster.
Yeah, Chicago is in it.
Chicago needs a morale boost.
Yeah, even the Clippers are so in it. Let me see who else is in it. The Spurs are in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, the Spurs just beat Utah for it today.
Yep, and then the Warriors clinched the spot. So
yeah,
this is I'm telling you, it's not a bad concept because some fan bases could actually get a little pride right there, man. Something that they never really experienced in a while.
I mean, you're seeing it with Houston Rockets fans. There's a lot of pride in their younger talent.
Yeah, there is a lot of pride. It's gonna take some seasons, but hey, they got something to build on.
Yeah,
I would like to see who I like to see in the in-season cup final. I would like to see like a franchise like the Knicks or like even Paolo. Let's say Paolo came back. The Magic in there, Paolo versus Jalen Green. That would be exciting. Or like I like to see Wemby versus Paolo in the finals.
That'd be fun. I think even like I don't know, Cade Cunningham would be fun in those events too.
Even the Pistons. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of teams could be fun.
Or even the knockout rounds could get interesting. The Pistons versus the Bulls. Or Trae Young versus the Pistons. This could this is the first time we could see like young teams with players on the come up where they have the ability to shine on a stage. Sometimes it's not really about playing on a high level. You get to see the player in a certain stage.
Especially if you're like a pivoting team, you don't want that. Like the Atlanta Hawks are a team that pivoted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for them, it's like now we got more money, we're more flexible, we can be a better team.
Yep. And speaking of the Hawks, man, did you see how they cracked down on Trae Young not playing a game? The league kind of cracked them over the head and charged them $100,000 and did a private investigation with their own doctor. That's how much the league does not want teams benching stars for load management. They are not playing no more.
That's good, man. I mean, dude, how much more can you flex? How much more can you flex the days?
Yeah, but the Hawks, they actually sat him down for one of the in-season tournament games, right? For the Emirates Cup.
Yeah, and the in-season tournament is trying to be the moneymaker for the NBA.
Yep, the NBA is definitely trying to crack down, but the Hawks are maintaining that Trae Young was actually hurt. They're actually standing by it, but the league hired their own doctor to investigate the situation.
The league is going to be a dictatorship, bro.
Yeah.
The league is a dictatorship now. Like, I think the player movement, they're seeing a lot of money loss. And look, do the players deserve the blame? Fuck no. But you know what? They don't. Should they hold blame? Sure, but not 100% of it.
No, I think with the player movement, there was a few mistakes. Like what LeBron did was fine. He was a free agent. But the only mistake with the player movement is what Kevin Durant did. You don't re-sign with your team and then ask to be traded. That shit was not a good look. Same thing for Anthony Davis. What he did down there in New Orleans, that was not a
Yeah,
good look.
sitting the season out
Yeah,
was
that
not a
was
good
not a
look.
good look. And they were winning. They were winning in the beginning of
But,
that year. If you look at
but
their
I think
record.
even load management, bro. Like I don't think they like the idea of Kawhi sitting every other 3 days, every other 2 days at this point.
Yeah,
Or Joel,
and also getting paid.
yeah, and Embiid has been very shameless about it this year.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah,
amount of money these guys are making, it's gonna increase, and it's not a good PR thing to see a guy making 80 mil a year gets to sit out games, and then you ask the fans to come in and pay the money for the
yeah.
tickets, and they don't get to see.
Buy the
It's not a
jerseys.
yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good
Yeah,
look.
but I mean, dude, imagine like this: you're an owner, and you hear like, and you see Paul George resting for the game for a game, but then 3 hours later you see this is podcast P.
Yeah, yeah. The optics are not right.
Yeah,
You're right. There's a social media aspect to it too. Everyone's more
yeah,
accessible.
yeah. So like, you're watching him get more money, right? While you're forking over more money to him.
Yes, it's kind of tough,
Yeah,
but there's gonna be some casualties. Some players are actually gonna be hurt, and they're gonna be kind of forced to. I think the league is gonna calm down on the situation, but when the load management era kind of passes by, you know what I mean? Like they're
yeah,
gonna they're gonna be strict now, but eventually down the line, they're gonna dial it back a little bit because right now the NBA they got that stink on them, man. They do have the load management. It's a stench that's really on the league. It's like people, certain casual fans that don't really watch the league as hard. The aura around the NBA is that guys are gonna take the night off, or guys are not going as hard during the regular
yeah,
season. Like that's the aura around the league, and I think Adam Silver is trying to find a way with situations like this with the Hawks, with the independent doctor, and finding
yeah.
the team 100 grand. This is his way of kind of putting it out there that we're gonna whip these guys back into shape. Not necessarily we're trying to be the bad guy, but we're trying to get rid of the load management aura that's around the NBA. That narrative, sometimes the narrative is just too loud. It's too loud.
I mean, bro, when ESPN is talking about it, you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, it's just when your everyday casual talks about it, and it's they're watching NBA Twitter and all social media sites. That's pretty much
NBA
the
Twitter is one of
narrative.
the biggest sports communities online.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the instant feedback. That's the instant feedback, and like I said, the league is in a transition. Their TV partners just paid a shit ton of money for all these packages, and they're not trying to hear, why we got this game on Amazon, but yet the NBA, we just paid all this money for the game,
yeah.
and we got Joel Embiid sitting out. Meanwhile, this guy
You have
was
to
just
watch Andre
dancing at a
Drummond play
party.
basketball.
Yeah.
You have to watch Andre Drummond play basketball, or Paul George sits out, and then 2 hours later is a podcast P episode with him and his boys. They're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think the medicals too. I don't know if these guys, I don't know what's the medical situation like on the reporting, if teams share it,
Yeah,
but some of these players, I think they have chronic problems, and either teams are hiding it or players are dealing with their own doctors, and certain situations are being hidden. Because I don't understand Paul George. He's kind of been under this like load management for a while.
yeah,
And it's I don't know, it's strange, and especially for him to get the max deal. Like it's not like he came in with a strong reputation to get that max deal.
yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting situation playing out here throughout the league.